Welcome to the season of smokescreens and everybody lying to you every 3 seconds. Daniel Jeremiah put out his most recent mock draft, and I'm not gonna lie to you, he chose chaos against the Arizona Cardinals. Go ahead and dive into the potential. Can the Arizona Cardinals trade out of the top 10? Let's dive into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals news, content, rumors, and now obviously reacting to some mock drafts that's been put out there. Now, Daniel Jeremiah, an insider of the NFL Network, just put out his most recent mock draft, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like definitely chaos has been a brewing amongst Cardinal fans, and I kind of want to get my spiel on this whole situation. So let's dive into the most recent mock draft of Daniel Jeremiah, and we're gonna talk about should the Arizona Cardinals potentially trade out of the top 10, because spoiler alert, that's exactly what this mock draft has. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm seeing a lot of these mock drafts where the Cardinals are trading out of the top 10, and I kind of have a little tiff to talk about it. So let's dive right into it here. We got the first 3 picks that are absolutely no surprise. It's quarterback. So now in this mock draft, there's Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. So where the Arizona Cardinals pick up here in the 4th overall spot, they actually have the Arizona Cardinals trading out with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Minnesota Vikings currently do have 2 picks in the first round, just like the Arizona Cardinals do. I believe they actually have the 11th and the 23rd, which in this specific package, it looks like the Arizona Cardinals are going to get both of their first round picks. So we're moving back to 11, and then they are moving over to the 4th, and then we're taking their 23. So essentially, we got 3 first round picks in this mock draft. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is based off of one person's opinion, right? He actually said it himself. He's trying to create chaos, and definitely he did amongst Arizona Cardinal fans. So there's only one person that truly knows who he's going to pick. Only one person. That's Monty Ossenfort, and obviously a few other people amongst the Arizona Cardinals organization, and I'm taking that to the grave. But it's definitely something to obviously talk about, right, in a conversational piece to see how you guys feel about it, and obviously me reacting to these mock drafts that are happening here. So continue to talk about the mock draft. So we end up getting trading out of that 4th overall spot with the Vikings. So they get JJ McCarthy, so it's basically 4 quarterbacks back to back, and the Arizona Cardinals move down to 11. So they got us picking Jared Verse. The 23rd overall spot, they have us getting Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, and then with our pick, which belongs to Houston, which is now the Arizona Cardinals, with the 27th, we get Byron Murphy II, which is the interior defensive lineman from Texas. So we got 3 first round picks in terms of what Daniel Jeremiah has ended up mocking the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let me go ahead and give you my reaction to this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And I don't like the fact that the Arizona Cardinals are always the one to trade back. And I get it. This is based off of one person's opinion. They look at the top 3 and they see a quarterback needy team, and they look at the Arizona Cardinals and they say, you don't need a quarterback. You can trade back. See, that's kind of where I have a little bit of a tiff here, because yes, the Arizona Cardinals are not in any mode to get a quarterback within the top 4 picks, and we're fully aware of that, but you still have a very solid, some people say can't bust, type of wide receiver that fell at your lap at Marvin Harrison Jr. And I hope we don't see a scenario in terms of the way that this plays out, because I want the Arizona Cardinals to potentially get one of these 3 top wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, or Rome Odunze. Now, I have nothing bad to say against the wide receiver we ended up getting, picking up in this mock draft, which is Brian Thomas Jr. I have no ill will to say about him, but I do believe there is a drop-off. I think there's a drop-off between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. Now, it's a very small drop-off, but I do truly believe that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the number 1 wide receiver in the entirety of this NFL draft. Now, if you think that's Malik Neighbors, if you think that's Rome Odunze, then obviously opinions are opinions. Now, if this is a situation where the Patriots end up picking him up, or the Patriots trade with somebody to get Marvin Harrison Jr., okay, then we're talking about a completely different situation there. But because of the situation and the way that this fell, I hope we don't live in a world where the Arizona Cardinals do not get any of the top 3 wide receivers. And like I said, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, or Rome Odunze. So this isn't really about, you can't miss on Marvin Harrison Jr., right? I'm giving a little slack over to Monty Austin for it, right? I'm giving a little bit. Now, would it hurt if we miss out on a Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yes, absolutely. I can definitely see the benefits where the Arizona Cardinals could potentially want to trade back to also trade back in within the top 10. I can definitely see that, right? We did that last year, but at the end of the day, we truly don't know what Monty Austin Fort's going to do, right? We only had really one NFL draft with him, and for the most part, I think he did a pretty good job for his very first time in making sure he's picking these athletes out. So I think he did a very good job. So we really don't have a trend in terms of what Monty is going to do. We've seen it happen one time. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again, right? But right now, we're getting a lot of these insiders or a lot of these mock drafts getting the Arizona Cardinals or making sure that they are the ones to trade back. Honestly, you should probably look at the pick right before the New England Patriots. If they don't want a quarterback, trade with them. If the Chargers don't want their pick, they can potentially trade back as well. They have a quarterback. So like, it's always the Arizona Cardinals. And I find that very, very, very weird. Now, the way that this mock draft ends up playing out is that obviously we trade out of the position and we get, go back to 11, but the Vikings get JJ McCarthy, and then the Jets trade up to 5 to get Marvin Harrison Jr. If there's a situation where the Cardinals can trade out, but also trade back with that Chargers pick, and we still get Marvin Harrison Jr., then okay, cool. I'm cool with that, but I still can't convince myself or live in a world that Marvin Harrison Jr. will not, like I truly think they won't get past the Chargers, truly, especially if the way that this pans out. I don't see the Chargers, doing this at the end of the day, because they need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver as well, and why not get the best wide receiver in the NFL draft? Now, obviously, that's subjective, right? The opinion is biased in terms of my opinion, him being the number one. If you do think that's Malik Neighbors or you think that's Rome Odunze, then okay, we can live in that same world, but I hate the idea of the Arizona Cardinals not getting one of these top 3 guys, right, in this mock draft. I hate it. I absolutely do. I have no problem with Jared Verse. I really don't. I have no problem with Brian Thomas Jr., but I hate the idea of the Arizona Cardinals not getting one of these top 3 wide receivers. So I don't like it. I truly do not like this. Now, yes, we did get 3 first-round picks in the 2024 NFL Draft in the first round, but in the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just one of those things where like, oh, more picks, we're going to get better, right? Like, in a perfect world, that would make sense, right? But most of these guys that are getting picked up in the top 32, a lot of them aren't superstars, right? So you're either going to settle for some B players, some B-plus players, or you might hit, right? Or you might hit it. You never know at the end of the day. Marvin Harrison Jr. is as sure as they possibly can come out there. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. is chosen by the Arizona Cardinals and he busts hard, then, I mean, at that very moment, then we took a swing at the guy that was supposed to be a can't miss, and then at that point, we missed, right? But I just cannot live in a world where the Arizona Cardinals are sitting there at 4 and we still decide to trade back for what? For what? We already have 2 first-round picks. We already have 11 picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. How much more can we stockpile? How much more can we leave other big generational talents to potentially go to other teams and automatically upgrade them, right? Just like a Will Anderson Jr., because that was the guy I wanted last year, and he automatically upgraded that defensive line over there. He had a great rookie year. Now, I'm cool. I'm happy with Paris Johnson Jr. I think we got lucky that he actually worked out to the benefit of the Arizona Cardinals, but it could have definitely gone the other way. It absolutely could have gone the other way, and we could have picked somebody else that didn't work out at the end of the day. So I just don't want to risk it. But if the Cardinals still get one of the top 3 wide receivers, I think I would find myself to be happy. But if we miss out in any of these top 3 and settle for a wide receiver that some of you guys think might be the next best thing right now, what are your guys' thoughts here? Because like I said, the Vikings are in desperate need of a quarterback. That's for sure. But so is the Broncos. The Broncos is also in need of a quarterback as well. So this can be a situation where maybe Daniel Jeremiah has truly heard some inside stuff and truly believes that the Cardinals are available to, or maybe open to the idea of trading back. The way that this mock draft has shaken out, I am not a big fan of, right? And like I said, it has nothing to do with Jared Verse, it has nothing to do with Brian Thomas, it has nothing to do with Byron Murphy. Truly, I actually like the Byron Murphy pick at the end of the first round. But to me, this is really what it's going to determine who's going to be the one guy the one guy that you can pick up 4th overall that's going to be a staple point on your team, is it going to be Jared Verse? Or is it going to be Malik Neighbors? Or is it going to be Roma Dunze? Or is it going to be Marvin Harrison Jr., which is what most Arizona Cardinal fans actually want out there? Who's going to be the guy that's going to be with your organization for 5, 8, 10 plus years? Who is going to be that guy? That's what you should be really looking out for. And obviously a superstar is what we're trying to get with that 4th overall spot. And I just feel like if the Cardinals did do something like that and we still didn't get one of those top 3 guys, we're just kind of living in a world of deja vu again, and that would absolutely not make me happy. But ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here in this whole scenario that the Arizona Cardinals are living in with this most recent mock draft of Daniel Jeremiah? Now, when there's smoke, there's usually fire. I do believe that he does have some sort of insight about maybe the Cardinals shopping around that pick. So I'm not going to throw him completely under the bus, but I really do not like the way that this mock draft has shooken out. If we did trade back, please, Monty Austin-Ford, do everything in your power to get back in that top 10, because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that you're going to have anybody fall to you like a Malik Neighbors or a Roma Dunze falling to you at 11. There's no guarantee. And I don't want to play that gambling game. So let me know here in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cards.